casting I'm doing. Just a minute. It is not allowing you to do broadcast. Why? Okay. It is. It is doing, no?
Sorry, it is saying meeting is now streaming live on YouTube.
Okay. Somehow I'm getting message here. Okay, that's okay then.
In fact, YouTube is also showing here.
Okay, then fine. Jananim Sharadam Devi Ramakrishnan Jagadgurum Padapadme Tayo Shritva Pranamami Muhurmuhu Namah Shri Yatirajaya Vivekananda Suraye Satchit Sukha Swarupaya Swamine Tapaharine. Dear devotees, we had a Christmas holidays for 15 days, and probably there was a time for all of us to contemplate on whatever we had heard, and we are at the end of the Drik Drishya Viveka. And from this, probably today we'll be able to finish Drik Drishya Viveka. So when I say that we have completed, we are finishing Drik Drishya Viveka, what does it mean? Just trying to understand or discussing or maybe talk on Drik Drishya Viveka is over. That's all. Because it is a lifetime project. Once when I joined the monastery, when we were having a class from the monks, revered monks, one of the senior monk, he was taking Kathopanishad for us. Ishavasya and Kena, these two Upanishads were over, and he had started Kathopanishad. Maybe one or two Anuvaka, one or two chapters had finished. Then I asked a question, Swamiji, when we studied or when we read Ishavasya Upanishad, when we read or studied Kenopanishad, and while reading Kathopanishad, more or less the background or the base line or argument or the final teachings are more or less same. I am the self, or the self alone is real, or consciousness alone exists, everything is just an appearance. So these things has been telling time and again from every different Upanishads. Then why should we read all these Upanishads? Or why did Rishis create so many Upanishads? One or two Upanishads was not enough. Oh, because just, on the lighter side, I said, because they want to show their intelligence or knowledge, or they don't, because they had a time, so they did all these things. Then he made a very beautiful point, the senior monk. He said, look, yes, truth is only, the ultimate truth is only one, no doubt. Now, every Rishi is trying to approach the truth in a particular way or in a particular path. Like Drik Drishya Viveka, there's one path or one sadhana type of, or avasthatra vichara, or panchakosha viveka. Like this one approach towards the truth. Now, all of these truths are told again and again, time and again. And the final, the verdict is one, or the final truth is only one, no doubt. By time and again, they are telling same thing, and why we have to study? Because we have been hypnotized time and again that I am body, I am mind, I am body, I am mind, I am so and so. Now, because that ignorance is so strong, so-called, so we have to remove that. So we have to keep on hammering our intellect with the right thoughts, with the noble thoughts, with the knowledge. How much so? I have to do it. I have to keep on doing till removing the ignorance, crushing the ignorance, or eradicating the ignorance. For example, sometimes because of some reasons in our house, there's a lot of dirt, oil, and so many things has been mixed with the dirt. So normal wiping, no, it is not possible. Then, okay, I swept and mopped. No. Then I put some soap liquid and I cleaned. Some portion went, not completely. 2 to 3 times I did. Then probably I had to put some solutions or chemicals. Then I was able to do. So many times, 1 or 2 or 5 or 10 or 15 times I had to do to clean the floor. So similarly, every one of us, we have got that ignorance in our mind, ignorance in our thinking, that has to be removed, that has to be cleared, that has to be set all right. So till then, we have to keep on reading, we have to keep on thinking, we have to keep on practicing. So this is what the Shastra's role, the role of Shastras. Now, probably if you remember the earlier classes, who is the Druk, the seer, and who is or what is the Drushya, the seen? The discrimination between the seer and the seen, that was the approach of the author. After discussing, he gave meditation techniques, beautiful meditation techniques, Vedantic meditation techniques he gave. After discussing, again, he brought one more approach, that is three types of jivas, three types of individuals. Pratibhasika jiva, Vyavaharika jiva, Paramarthika jiva. So what are these three types of individuals we have seen? Now, before getting into the shloka, I would like to give a small example which is connected with the shloka. Then I will get into the shloka. You will be able to understand. Now, probably we have thought over already, discussed this. When we go near a sea, and we are near the sea and we are standing in the bank of the sea and we are enjoying the seashore and the waves and whatnot. So different size of waves are coming and it is splashing or it is hitting my feet and I'm enjoying it. At the same time, there are some foam also, foam or water bubbles or whatever you say. So there is a water waves or ocean waves or waves, and there is a foam or water bubbles. Now, the author is trying to explain what is water here. The water is what? Paramarthika jiva, absolute self. Then the wave is what? Vyavaharika jiva, embodied self or waking self. Then Pratibhasika jiva is what? The water bubbles, water foam, which is nothing but the dream self. Why? Because water is constant. The waves, it takes a shape, the water takes a particular shape and it rises and it subsides. It was in the water, it rised in the water itself has risen and it took a particular form and again it got subsided and it got merged in the water. That may be 5 seconds or 10 seconds or whatnot. Starting from its genesis, then it gets merging we have to take. Then this water bubbles, foam, water bubbles has been formed and 1 or 2 or 3 seconds will be there mostly and it dies out. That's why it is called Pratibhasika jiva, that is the dream self. So this, if you can keep this in your mind, then you'll be able to understand the 43rd and 44th shloka. Madhurya yadrava shaityani niradharmas tarangake anugamyatha tannishte fene api anugata yatha. As such, the characteristics of water as sweetness, fluidity, and coldness appears to be inherent in the waves and also in the foam of which the waves are the substrate. When the waves came and splashed your feet, touched your feet, so for example, recently we had been to ocean and here already it is cold. And imagine when we went to ocean, 2 volunteers who came with me, one fellow said, I will come, and the other fellow said, no, Swamiji, I will not come. I cannot touch the water. It is biting cold. Then both of us, we went and afterwards we said, look, we are standing, nothing happened, come. Of course, we dragged him. And as a joke, we dragged him and we were standing in the water 2 minutes, not even he couldn't stop. Stand there. He pulled his hand from us and he jumped out from the sea. And he said, oh, my dear, my legs are getting numb because of the coldness. Now, the water waves came and touched our feet and we were feeling cold, we were feeling numb or whatever. So the coldness, does it belongs to water or the coldness, does it belongs to waves? Then there's a fluidity, liquidity. The liquidity, whichever we saw in the waves, whether it belongs to the ocean or rather water or for the waves. And also there were water bubbles, a small foam. So that also has got that liquidity and the softness or the coldness and all these things. So whether does it belong to the foam or does it belong actually to the water? Yes, every one of us, we know that all belongs to water. You can say the fluidity, or you can say the coldness, or you can the sweetness, or whatever. Of course, in the ocean, it will be salt, no doubt. It is no more sweet. Or if you go to river, it will be sweetish. So these three characters, though we saw in the wave or in the foam, but all of them belongs to water alone. So similarly, the eternality or the existence, which is nothing but Sat, and the consciousness, the awareness, which is called Chit, and the bliss, Ananda, the love and compassion, Ananda, bliss, which is we see in the things, all of them belongs to actually for the self alone. That is what Paramarthika Jiva. But the nature of this Paramarthika Jiva, Sat Chit Ananda, it has been reflected on the Vyavaharika Jiva, which is the waking self. And but we think that the awareness is part of my mind, part of my brain. Even today, in the conscious field, there's a lot of experiments are happening. So where does the consciousness exist actually? Is it in the brain? Is it the part of the brain? Is it the nature of the brain? Is it the function of the brain or anywhere else? So I am active, I am talking, and you are listening. So talking and listening, what is happening? Body and mind is involved, no doubt, as an instrument. But behind all these things, there's a power, there's a consciousness, which is called Paramarthika Jiva. But unfortunately, we have superimposed the qualities, or sorry, the nature of the self on the Vyavaharika Jiva. Just like the quality of the water, we have superimposed on the waves, and we are thinking that that qualities or the qualities of the water belongs to the waves, or it is of the waves. So similarly, the nature of the self, Paramarthika Jiva, absolute self, we have imposed on the Vyavaharika Jiva, waking self, and we are thinking that the waking self is real. I am the doer. I am the enjoyer. I did this. I did that. People didn't give proper, recognition. So henceforth, I will not come. So such type of very ignorant statements we keep on making. Why? We think that we are living eternally as with body and mind, which is not so. The eternality belongs to the consciousness, not to this body and mind or the waking self, which is called Vyavaharika Jiva. So same thing, even in the dream state, I rose and I did so much work and I got probably Nobel Prize and I'm thinking I'm living eternally or whatnot. All these things, which was only time bound, whatever I felt, whatever I experienced, the reality or Satchitananda or whatever, everything belongs to Paramarthika Jiva, not for the Pratibhasika Jiva. But when I was in the dream, when I was experiencing the dream, I never knew that it was a dream and it doesn't have any reality. It doesn't have any iota of reality. Only when I got up, when my alarm rang or someone called or my sleep broke, then I woke up, then I remember, oh, it was only a dream. It doesn't have any existence. It doesn't have any reality. The same thing, the waking state is also called a big dream, but only because we are in the waking state and we are trying to negotiate. We are trying to negate this waking state is also a big dream, which is a cause for our confusion, which is a main reason for our unable to understand. The moment when we transcend these three states of existence, the moment when I establish in my nature, then I'll be able to understand whatever the Upanishads are saying, Mandukya Upanishad, just like for an example, that even the so-called waking state, Vyavaharika Jagat or Vyavaharika Sthiti, the state is also a big dream. So the existence, consciousness, bliss absolute are the inherent characteristics of the Paramarthika Jiva, Sakshi alone. But we are mistaking that is also with, we are mistaking that nature of the Sakshi with the Vyavaharika Jiva and Pratibhasika Jiva. That is what the author is trying to explain this with the example of the water, waves, and bubbles. Now, in the 44th verse, he continues that same idea, saying that the absolute self's nature has been borrowed from the Chidabhasa. If you remember earlier discussions, if you remember the original consciousness, the reflected consciousness. The reflected consciousness is what? Whatever the consciousness has been reflected on the reflecting medium called mind, on that consciousness, reflected consciousness. So that is what Chidabhasa. So because of this Chidabhasa, the Vyavaharika Jiva, the empirical self, is thinking, I am the doer, I am the enjoyer, I am the experiencer, I am everything or whatnot. So again, the existence, consciousness, bliss belongs to only Sakshi, not to the Vyavaharika Jiva or the empirical self. And the same thing can be extended to the Pratibhasika Jiva also. Just in the dream, I did so many things. But when I wake up, then I will be able to understand it is nothing is true. So now, after this, he goes to the Apavada, he starts explaining. If you remember, the Advaita Vedantic teaching technique is what? Adhyaropa Apavada. Adhyaropa is superimposition. Apavada is what? Desuperimposition. In the 45th and 46th verse, or 45th and 46th, he tries to do desuperimposition. That is what? Apavada. How the characteristics of Atman or the Sakshi are superimposed on the seer and the seen. That negation, erroneous superimposition has been negated in the 45th sloka. Let us see. Laye fenasya tadharma dravadyaha tarangake tasyapi vilaye nire tishtatyeti yatha purha. With the disappearance of the foam in the wave, its characteristics such as fluidity, coldness, sweetness merge in the wave. Again, with the disappearance of the wave in the water, these characteristics merge as before in the water. So water, waves, and foam is there. Then water bubbles just for 1 or 2 or 3 seconds there. Then they got burst. And what happened? Oh, they're in the waves. Now, water foam had a quality for a given point of time. So all that qualities of the foam, what happened? It got merged in the water. Fine. Merged in the wave. Now the wave was there for a bit long time. It was also had liquidity, it had sweetness, it was in the coldness, all these things. Wave also got subsided. Wave subsided. Then what happened? For all the qualities of the waves, if you ask, just like wave got subsided in the water, the qualities also got merged in the water. So the qualities they never existed in all of them. Why? Because the water itself has been taken a particular form and we have given a particular shape. Vacharambano vikaro namadeyam vrittikasya satyam. The clay alone is real. When we make a clay as in a particular form, then we say is a plate. Then we make a particular form, we call lamp. Then we make a particular form, then we say water pot. Then we made a particular form, then we say it is a pot where we put soil and we plant the plants. And if you in the 4 objects, what is the quite common? The clay. If you remove the clay from the 4 things, what exists? Nothing exists. So different forms and different names, they are mere expressions or they are mere just naming, that's all. But the clay alone is real. So the same idea has been told here. So foam got subsided in the water. The qualities of the foam also got subsided in the water. The wave got subsided in the water. The nature of the qualities of the wave also got subsided in the water. So now water alone is real. The qualities of the water alone is real. So the wave borrowed the qualities of the water for some time. And we thought all the qualities belong to wave. It is not so. Similarly, foam or water bubbles got formed. We thought the qualities belong to some qualities belong to that. No, again, it has been borrowed from the waves. Waves has borrowed from the water. So this is what Apavada. Again, we are coming back. From water, waves came, foam came, and what all things is there we explained in the earlier slokas. Now author is telling, foam got merged in the wave. What happened? The qualities got merged. Wave got subsided in the water. What happened? The qualities also merged in the water. So the water only has got all these qualities, neither the wave nor the form. Even if it is there, it has been borrowed only from the water, not of its originality. So when the dream jiva, what happens? He is experiencing so many things. He is aware of himself. He is aware of the world. He is aware of so many things. That awareness has been borrowed from the Chidabhasa, from the waking state. And that awareness actually belongs to Sakshin, actually. When the dream broke, what happens? The dream awareness got merged. Where? In the Chidabhasa. The moment when you experience yourself, or when you remove the ignorance, when you remove the screen, there was a screen in front of me, some person was sitting, and in between there was a screen. So I was not able to see the other person. When the screen is removed, then I'm able to see the person. I'm able to experience his existence. So similarly, when the Chidabhasa, the mind reflecting medium is removed, then what happens? Then awareness alone exists. So this awareness, the awareness, consciousness has been borrowed from the mind, which is called reflecting medium, and reflected conscious was formed, and from that the the Pratibhasika Jiva, the dream self, had borrowed some portion of it. And now when my dream broke, then dream self also got merged, dissolved, where in the Paramarthika Jiva. And when I experience the reality, the truth, the self, what happens? Even this Paramarthika Jiva also, once I die, then what happens? It also gets merged. But when I get a realization, Paramarthika Jiva doesn't dissolve. That we have to keep it very clear. Paramarthika Jiva doesn't dissolve because I am not died. I am there. My body, my mind, all these things are there when I say I. So that's where Paramarthika Jiva is there, no doubt. But the confusion, the ignorance has been nullified, cancelled, or removed. That whatever I was thinking, I, as Shantivratananda, was real. What I was thinking, now no more. I may be doing the same activities, but the reality will be pertaining only to the self, not to the body and mind. Now the reality is also pertained, has been attributed to body and mind and my actions, but it is not so in reality. So that's what it happens. When the moment you experience who am I, then all these things gets merged. Means I will be able to experience the reality. So at the time of the death, the waker, the jiva, when the body is disintegrated, then even the Sachidananda is not destroyed. But only Vyavarika Jiva and Paratapasika Jiva is destroyed, but Paramarthika Jiva exists. Before birth, it was existing. During birth, it is existing. And while leaving, it is existing. After the death of a person, Paramarthika Jiva also exists, survives. So it was, it is, it will be. The Paramarthika Jiva, the Sakshan alone is real, and it exists at all three times. Whereas Pratibhasika Jiva and Vyavarika Jiva, it is not, only at given point of time. That's why it is called Trikala Abhadita Satya. If something has to be Satya, truth, if we have to say something exists, it has to be Trikala Abhadita Satya. Present, past, and future, all these three times, given point of time, it should exist. Then only we can say it is a truth. It is a Sat. It is a existence. That is only Atman. That is only Chaitanya. So the meaning of the illustration has been explained or used with the illustration and illustrated. We'll see illustrated. Pratibhasika Jivasya Layesyuhu Vyavaharike Tallaye Sachidanandaha Paryavasyanti Sakshini. With the disappearance of the Pratibhasika Jiva in the Vyavaharika Jiva, existence, consciousness, bliss merge in the empirical self. When that also disappears, these characteristics finally merge in Sakshin. Already we have discussed. So when we wake up from the dream, what happens? The dream self, which is called Pratibhasika Jiva, resolves, merges, dissolves into waking Jiva, Vyavaharika Jiva. So I am is common. I is common in the Paramarthika Jiva, Pratibhasika Jiva, Vyavaharika Jiva. In the Pratibhasika Jiva, you were experiencing as an experiencer, as with an I, with an iota of I. So when the dream broke, the Vyavarika Jiva disappeared, the embodied self, the dream self disappeared, are merged where? Into the waking self, which is Vyavarika Jiva. At the time of death, then even that mind also gets merged, or especially after the realization of the self. Once you die, then your body disintegrates here, your mind also gets merged in the Atman, or in the consciousness. There, Vyavarika Jiva is also, the empirical self is also dissolved or merged into the Paramarthika Jiva. That is what the Sakshin. In the Vyavarika Jiva, the conscious of I, the iota of I was there, no doubt. But now, where it went, that that I again got merged in the Paramarthika Jiva. That is what the Veka self got merged in the absolute self. So when we say I, sometimes we can make I as a body and mind complex. When we say I as a dream self, I means emotions, I means intellect, I means ego. So when I say I, so with the different faculties of mind, I will be referring to actually. So, but when Shastras say I, it always refers to Paramarthika Jiva, the absolute self, or the Sakshin. So in the Videha Mukti, what happens? The Veka Jiva is permanently dissolved and remains as Sakshi or Chaitanya. If we have not realized, then what happens? Our body gets disintegrated here. Our Sukshma Sharira, along with the mind, it enters the new womb of the mother, and again the creation, or again the birth and leaving and death, again it continues. So basically, the Sakshi alone is real. It is alone is present. It is alone is survives at all times, and it doesn't have any birth and it doesn't have any death. That is my real nature. One has to experience. So when you use Drik Drishya Viveka as a path, or you take Panchakosha Viveka, or you take Avastatra Vichara, or any other things. In Taittiriya Upanishad comes, in Panchadashi, there are 15 types of things has been discussed like this. All these things are what? So they're all trying to make us understand how we are thinking wrongly. So our awareness, perception has been checked, has been tried to remove, to be clear. So that is what the role of Shastras. The role of Shastras is what? What is truth and what is not, and how to approach or how to experience the truth, and how to get rid of this erroneous perception. That's what the role of Shastras. Shastra Pramana alone can do that. So may Sri Ramakrishna bless all of us, and let us all experience the final truth, ultimate truth, that I am the self, I am that Satchidananda as soon as possible, and let us be happy at all given point of time. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.
Swamiji, I have a question. I think
Yeah.
you partly answered it, but just wanted to make it more clear. So when you die, the Vyavarika, and if we believe in rebirth, the Sukshma Sharira is still there, right? And mind is part of the Sukshma Sharira. So, and it has still got the properties from Paramarthika Jiva. So
Yeah.
do we then assume that the Sukshma Sharira is also having awareness, Satchitananda? Because the mind is dead, or at least the mind as we understand it is no more. The person is dead. So Sukshma Sharira has not yet, till there is Videha Mukti, I mean, till you realized there is the merger of Vyavarika Jiva will not happen with Paramarthika
Yes.
Jiva, if I understood you right. So
Yes.
it means that the Sukshma Sharira will continue to cling on to the Paramarthika Jiva. In a way, they are.
Yes.
So do I then say that the Sukshma Sharira has awareness, consciousness, and the properties of Satchitananda?
Yes. See, I mean, I'll give you funny example. Now, when we say Deva, Bhuta, Pishachi, and all, ghosts, So what are they nothing but? They're nothing but subtle bodies without a physical body.
If you
Okay, it's
believe, then if
debatable.
you
I know
don't
that
believe,
whether
then
ghost exists or not, spirit exists or not, it's debatable. I know that. Okay, let me not getting into that example probably. So what I mean to say is definitely yes. Even say for an example, a person dies. His physical body is no more. It has
yeah,
been disintegrated.
yeah,
Now, because he has not attained the moksha or mukti, or he has not experienced himself properly, or rather he has still is ignorant of himself, then what happens to him? Yes, as a Sukshma Sharira, he exists. Then
correct,
can the Sukshma Sharira without the Stula Sharira, the subtle body without the help of, because the subtle body in that case, it doesn't have the physical body as of now. It
correct.
has got only the Sukshma Sharira, subtle body alone. So can it experience the consciousness? Yes, it can experience the consciousness. Now, if you say that, okay, now for example, there is a Stula Sharira, physical body, and there is no Sukshma Sharira, that is subtle body. If the physical body can experience, though your brain is there, for an example, brain and all is there. So we have kept in such a way that like body temperature is being maintained or probably etc. So can it experience the consciousness? No, it cannot. Physical body without the subtle body's existence, it cannot experience the consciousness. Whereas the subtle body without the physical body, it can experience the consciousness.
But it seems difficult to kind of accept that Sukshma Sharira, which is not manifest, right? Because uh, there is no, it is not in the manifest form.
What do you mean by that? It is not in the manifested form.
Uh, there is no form. I'm assuming Sukshma Sharira is subtle, but it can experience and it has awareness and it is conscious.
Yes. See, yes. When you probably I will put in like this way. So when you say that Sukshma Sharira doesn't, I mean, we can't perceive. We can't perceive in our naked eye. That's all
I
I
mean,
can say.
in a way, I'm saying that the Sukshma Sharira can't listen to this conversation, right? That we are having. It doesn't have the tools. The manifestation, life is where all of this gets manifested. So there is no, at least that was my understanding, that, human life is for
So for example,
manifesting.
now when you were talking with me, what do you think? Your Sukshma Sharira is listening to it or not?
Correct. It is.
It is listening, isn't it?
It is
Now,
aware.
for example, for discussion sake, someone has died near your vicinity.
Yeah.
And that person, as a Sukshma Sharira, has left the physical body.
Yeah.
And he or she was interested in Vedanta. He or she was interested in Vedanta. So the Sukshma Sharira thought, "Arey, today Shantivratananda's class is there. I would like to listen. And can it come and listen to my class or not? It can.
But it's only vibration. It's only the vibrations it can experience, not the exactly the sound or the thing. So that's what
Sound
I
is,
know. Of course, you can correct me. Yeah.
yes, yes. Sound is nothing but vibration. That's all, isn't it? When I
A little
say,
spooky, Swamiji.
yeah, I understand. I understand. I say, I say. There is a form. We all know that because English or whatever say. Okay. I say that is a sound, no doubt. Now I am saying I say from my mouth and you are hearing I say and you heard and your ears heard and it sent the information to your brain and brain processed it and is okay. So Shantivratananda is telling I say. All this process happened in just a second or a fraction of a second. But how did my sound in what I when I say I said, and how did your mind understand here? What did it receive and hear? It all just vibrations. It is nothing but frequency. It is all nothing but frequency. That's what Spotanavada says. That's where we say, even Bible also says, even our scriptures also says, everything comes from Akasha. Akasha comes from where? From Shabda, from sound. That's a different thing. We'll come to a point. Now, Sukshma Sharira can listen to it. Why not? Now,
But
if
can
Sukshma Sharira can eat, Sukshma
can
Sharira can drink, Sukshma Sharira can eat pizza. No, it cannot. It needs a physical body.
Can it
But
speak?
it can do it.
Can it speak? No.
Sukshma Sharira can speak. It can speak probably if I am sensible enough or I have gone little exalted state, I can listen to it. Otherwise, no. For example, does ant speak or not?
The ant on the floor.
It can speak to its friends. I mean, they communicate among themselves.
I
Yes.
don't know.
Yes.
Never tried
Either
to listen.
I don't know, or we assume it speaks.
Ants
Or
communicate
yes,
among themselves. They have certain
ant can communicate, but ant can communicate among themselves, but neither I and you cannot hear it.
Yeah.
My ear is not manufactured or not developed in such a way
Not
that where I can
designed.
listen to the ant's voice, isn't it? So similarly, generally, we cannot listen to Sukshma Sharira's talk and all. But for an example, in Sri Ramakrishna's case itself, we have seen Sri Ramakrishna had been to a particular house, a devotee's house.
Yeah.
Then the many Sukshma Shariras were there. They told, why did you come here? Because your presence we are not able to bear. We have to run away. Please go away from here. Otherwise, we will be difficult for us to stay here. Now, this message was given by the Sukshma Shariras to Sri Ramakrishna, and Sri Ramakrishna understood it. And he immediately said, come, we will go. Everyone were dumbfounded. Why? He said, no, you come, now we will see. Then they traveled back to Dakshineshwar, Calcutta. And after going to Dakshineshwar, they said, like, there are some subtle bodies. They said, because of your presence, we are not able to bear. Please kindly leave this place. That's the reason I came. Now, there were so many devotees, maybe 5 or 10 devotees. They never heard. They couldn't hear. They couldn't see even. But Sri Ramakrishna saw. Sri Ramakrishna heard. So yes, Sukshma Sharira can talk, and when you are grown up in this is not physically, I mean mentally, definitely you can hear. And rather when we say Indriya, the Vedanta, when we say Indriya, Shrotra Indriya, hearing, isn't it? The Indriya, we don't feel this external organ actually. The power inside which is the part of the actually Sukshma Sharira. If you remember Aparokshanubhuti or Tattvabodha classes of mine properly, then you'll be able to understand it. What does Sukshma Sharira consist? Pancha Prana, Pancha Gnanendriya, Pancha Karmendriya, etc. we have discussed, including mind. Sukshma Shariras can talk, no doubt. It can hear also, no doubt.
Also, I had a question.
Yeah. Samit, I finished Samit's question. Is it clear, Samit? Or still it is spooky for you?
No, it is clear. It's a complex one.
I can understand that it is hypothetically okay for you, but how to understand this?
No, it's a difficult one to accept. In a way, what you're saying is the same awareness we have now is available to us post-death. Of course, we don't have the tools to interact with the present world. But
with the physical body. See, simple, for an example, I think I gave you this. Now, for example, in Drik Drishya Viveka also we have seen the consciousness, the mind receives the power of the consciousness or consciousness. Okay. And that energy has been supplied to the indriyas, the physical indriyas. Now, without the manas, physical indriyas can act? No, it cannot. Why? Because the energy, whatever the indriyas need, it has to get from the manas only, isn't it? So similarly, Sukshma Shari is a medium from where it can absorb the power of energy, absorb the energy from the, Paramarthika Jiva or from the Drik, and it can give to for my physical body or for my organs, sense organs and all. So, but without that, can it there? Yes. Yeah. Yes, sorry, someone were asking question.
Well, yeah, Swamiji, can I ask the question now?
Yeah, please.
Okay. So this was about the Adhyarapavada Prakriya, which we're talking about in today's class. So when you're doing the Apavada bit, where there is desuperimposition, so we're talking about the Pratipasika Jiva merging into the Vyavaharika Jiva, and the Vyavaharika Jiva merging into the Sakshi. But here, my question was, there's a slight difference when we do the same Apavada Prakriya, say like according to Kathopanishad, that the same thing happens. Apavada, when they're doing, they say like the mind here in Drik Drishya Viveka, the mind, they say the mind merges into the Sakshi. Mind merges into the Sakshi. Finally, in the final step, the mind merges into the Sakshi.
Okay.
But there in Kathopanishad, they say the mind merges into Ishvara, and then Ishvara merges into Sakshi. So there's one additional layer there, and that is one thing which I was a little found different about Drishya. There's no mention about Ishvara at all. Can you please explain this, Swamiji?
Yeah. So it is a different type of discussions there. So what do you mean by Ishvara there?
It's the cosmic mind. It's the cosmic mind, because now the Vyavaharika Jiva is a part of Ishvara, because there is a cosmic mind. All our individual minds are part of the cosmic mind. So before the individual mind merging into the Sakshi, the individual mind has to merge into the cosmic mind, and then only then after that, beyond that is Sakshi.
So now I will give an example. Now Ganga, Brahmaputra, two rivers are flowing, and both rivers has got distinct characters. Okay. Now both of them, they got merged in the sea. Now can you show me where is Ganga and where is Brahmaputra there?
No, it's not possible.
Okay. So similarly, when, say for an example, based on your argument, now you say that you are merging in the cosmic mind. Ishvara means cosmic mind, you are merging in the cosmic mind. Okay. Then when you yourself merge yourself in the cosmic mind, then where is your mind there?
So when the individual mind, my understanding, Swamiji, is when the individual mind merges into the cosmic mind, the individuality is lost. That time only Ishvara remains. You can no more feel yourself. You can probably only feel the presence of Ishvara. That is what the highest experience of bhakti is.
No, so simple thing. Now, how do I experience that I? Because of the mind, isn't it? Correct. The moment mind dissolves, then there is no experience of the I. You are that experience. Experience, experiencer, experienced. For this, you need a mind.
Correct.
When the mind dissolves in the cosmic mind called Ishvara, when you don't have any mind, then you don't have any your so-called individuality at all. Then where is the point of coming, okay, once I will merge with the cosmic mind, then again I will merge in Sakshi or no? So the same truth has told in different angles, that's all. Yeah. Did you understand my point?
Yes, I understood your point, Swamiji. But I clearly understood your point. So basically, when that merge, because like I feel that is the experience of a bhakta. When he feels the presence of his Ishta, probably he doesn't feel himself anymore there. There is only the Ishta Devata at that point. So he will feel he is the Ishta, maybe. That I, what you call the I becomes the
again,
Ishta.
he is the Ishta, he will not feel that because there is no individuality there. That's all I mean to say.
Okay.
See, there's a very funny story. Once Sri Ramakrishna, a devotee, came to Sri Ramakrishna and he asked, because Sokayamaita Bhosyam Prajayeti, Taittiriya Upanishad says, the Ishvara thought, let me become many, and we all came into existence. Now, quoting this, a devotee asked, Ishvara thought, let me become many, and we have become many, and we are there so many, and we are suffering. For Ishvara, it is a game, play, but for us, suffering.
Yes.
Then Sri Ramakrishna asked straight away, who are you then? Because Ishvara thought many, let me become many, and Ishvara has become many. If so, as per your argument, then who are you then?
You are Ishvara in that case. Yeah.
Then that's all.
Okay. Yes.
Isn't it?
Yes, true. That's true.
Yes.
All right.
So when you merge yourself with the cosmic mind, you call Ishvara, you call whatever you say, then your individuality doesn't exist at all. When your individuality doesn't exist, then there is no place for experience of the duality. When there is no place for experience of duality, then where comes all these things? Then what exists? You can't tell even there is no word, there is no mind, there is no speech. There just it is. It is, that's all.
So can we consider Ishvara in this context, sort of, from the perspective of Bhakta, probably like Ishvara and Sakshi are the same, almost the same.
Ishvara and the Sakshi are the same, almost same. Yeah, again, yes.
We could
No
think
doubt.
about it. Yes, yes, true. Sure. Thank you, Swamiji. Thank you very much.
See, these are all one of the biggest, I don't say it is a problem, it is a limitation, a sort of, it is a sort of crisscross, I say. What is, whatever when we hear some concepts about the self or about the Atman or about the Brahman, about the Jiva, etc., when we are hearing, first and foremost, we need some words for any concept. And the moment when we start thinking, already I've told this also in some classes, when we start thinking about the self, which without any form, even Atman, which it is not an object, it is a subject, it doesn't have any form, it doesn't have any color, etc., but still it makes an image of it.
Yes.
That's where we get stuck there.
Right.
I am saying, oh, Sakshi doesn't have any name actually. But then why are you using the word Sakshi? Because I have to tell something. Otherwise, otherwise it is not possible. So I'm using a word Sakshi, that's all.
Yes.
Okay. It doesn't have any form. Oh, okay. It doesn't have any form. Maybe it is like a blank, like a dark night. See, our mind cannot get rid of this. That's where the subject-object duality is what the problem is. Which is a part of creation. That's where we have to go above that, beyond that. Then only we can break this barrier. Yeah. And that's a common problem for all of us. Never mind.
Yes. You have to go beyond words. You have to go beyond words. Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Word, not only word and form also.
Yes, both. Yes. Thank you, Swamiji.
Yeah. Yes.
Pranam Maharaj, regarding that Sukshma Sharir, whether Sukshma Sharir can speak or not, can we cite the example that Thakur himself told Swamiji about the topic and what to speak in the this lectures in America. So that is, Thakur can speak only in Sukshma Sharir. And many people have actually heard that Swamiji is talking with somebody. So that is, so definitely then we can say that Sukshma Sharir can speak.
Yes. Yes, we can take this example, but probably when I quote Sri Ramakrishna, what happens? He is a god. So that's where people get limited there. Oh, he's a god, he's a avatar Purusha, is a prophet, so he's speaking, it is possible for him. But if I, for an example, I as a person, common person, if I die, I am existing as a Sukshma Sharira, then can I speak? That question come to people still. That's the reason probably that type of examples generally I don't quote. But yes, we can take that example, no doubt. And yes, and the other beautiful example is like Sri Ramakrishna appeared to Holy Mother when Holy Mother was crying and all, when Sri Ramakrishna passed away, and she was, as per Hindu traditions, as a widow, she was about to remove her bangles and all. Sri Ramakrishna came and said, "What are you doing? I'm here. I have just shifted from one room to another, that's all. So I'm here, but then why are you removing your bangles? You don't need to remove your bangles." So what is that? It has got a greatest Advaitic truth there. Yes, these are small incidents. With the devotion, we feel okay, Thakur exists and we go away, but it has got all Advaitic truths in that, Vedantic truths in that, no doubt.
Another question, Maharaj, can you again explain what is Videho Mukti? You just mentioned about Videho Mukti.
Yes, so there are three types of Mukti: Jivan Mukti, Krama Mukti, and Videha Mukti. Okay, so this Jivan Mukti is only accepted in the Vedanta, Advaita Vedanta particularly. And I think in Nyaya they accept, and Vaisheshika I'm not sure. So Jivan Mukti is what? I am liberated while I am living. at any different age, maybe 10 years, at the age of 15th or 20th or 31st, 33rd or 87, at any time, I realize, I remove my ignorance, I understand, I experience myself. That is what Jivan Mukti. So Mukti while living. Now, the other two types of muktis, which all the schools of philosophy accept, is Videha Mukti and Krama Mukti. Videha, Vigatam Deha, one who is losing or lost the Deha body, means at the time of death, at the time of passing away. So I am leaving this physical body. So at the time of verge of death, or during the time of death, then I experienced that I am the self, I am the consciousness. The Sukshma Sharira left this physical body, no doubt, as the death process, and at the same time, because I experienced that I am the self, Aham Brahmasmi, then what happens? Even the Sukshma Sharira also merges in the Atman. So no more birth and death. That is called Videha Mukti. So Mukti, attaining the Mukti at the time of leaving the body, that means at the time of death. Vigatam Deha, Videha. Then there's other type of Mukti is called Krama Mukti. Now, I have done a pure life, I have done a good led life, and I was a spiritual aspirant, and I've struggled or, strive to attain realization, and I've done a lot of good actions, and I've got a lot of punya also. Then I die. Then I go to Brahmaloka. I live in the Brahmaloka till the end of this cycle, and with this end of the cycle ends, then I also get liberated. Means I merge in the, in the Brahman or whatever. But there as a Sukshma Sharira, I exist, and I will be in the blissful form, no doubt. But still that individuality exists. So this is what Krama Mukti. So when the cycle ends, then I will get permanent liberation. There's no temporary liberation. I will get a liberation. This is what Krama Mukti.
But if the Punna is means exhausted, then he has to come back.
Yes. No, because of punya or whatever, he had been there. So once if you go to any lokas, after your punya exhausted, you have to come back. But the description which we get from Veda and Puranas, especially Puranas, is what? Once you go to Brahmaloka, then no more coming back. So whether you got punya exhausted or there or not or whatever, once you go to Brahmaloka, then no more coming back. But if you go to Indraloka, if you go to Pitraloka, if you go to Surya Loka or Chandraloka or any other lokas, then after your exhaustion of Papa or Punya, you are supposed to come back to Martya Loka. That is this empirical world. So when you go to Brahmaloka, no more coming back.
Okay, so end of the cycle means this Mahapralaya. During Mahapralaya, when everything is dissolved, then that Sukshma Sharir who was in the Brahmalok, he also get dissolved.
You are right. You are right.
Okay. So in the next creation, so that particular Sukshma Sharir will not come.
Yes, you are right. Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Maharaj.